So excited! Let's make a video!
So we're here today talking about, we just did a video about being shamed, about being poly, and we wanted to talk about cleaning things up if you make a mistake. Because a lot about having a good relationship is being ethical and consensual and talking to your partner, and we all screw that up sometimes. Like, it's not a perfection model. And it's really important to know how to clean things up, and the quicker you clean them up, the better. So this is Hunter Riley she works at Self-Serve, manages Self-Serve, and has HunterRileySexEducation.com, and the fabulous Mandy Fricker from Self-Serve.com.
Self-ServeToys.com.
Toys, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm Cathy
That other site has no sex toys. It's very boring.
Yeah, don't go there.
Don't go there.
And I'm Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com. And it is hard to clean things up, and it becomes more and more important if we're in a relationship that really matters to us. And it also sometimes feels harder because the relationships really matter, and I don't want to tell you I screwed up because now you're going to hate me and maybe never talk to me again. So how do you handle it?
I really just like to own it when I fuck it up, when I mess it up. So I mean, basically it's, I've had experiences where there was a miscommunication, I thought my partner knew that, I might be having sex with somebody else. They were like, oh, I thought you weren't, and then, chat about it the next morning. They're like, oh, so you did have sex with somebody? And I'm like, ooh, yeah, see, I thought that was clear, but I can see how maybe it wasn't clear now, hearing your perspective on it. And so honestly, just owning it and saying, I am so sorry for the part that I played in that miscommunication, because miscommunications oftentimes do have more than one person, right? And so I just think, I'm so sorry for the part that I played in that miscommunication. How can we avoid this in the future?
Yeah.
And so owning it, apologizing for it, and then trying to change that behavior in the future.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, and I'm pretty new at poly, and at this moment, I've really had a few moments where I think my partners and I have tried to mitigate the potential hurt before it happened, and so reduced the likelihood of something happening.
But you probably had times in a monogamous relationship where you were, humans have to clean up friendships.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is then what happens is, so I'll be like, oh no, I'm probably just gonna hang out. We're probably gonna hang out, and then I'm like, I kissed her, or I'm probably, I don't even know if she's gonna like me, and then I'm like, oh, I'd like to have sex tomorrow, and so one of my partners who's been around the block a lot longer than I have was really kind and said, that's what happens. That's what people do. When you're new, it's really easy to just not want to hurt your partner, and really, you don't know what you're going to be planning. And so it's really easy to just say, I think this is all that will happen, and because you can't control what other people do, and then you find out that actually your wildest dreams could come true, and you kind of have an agreement that you could have your wildest dreams come true, but you've literally told your other partners that's not going to happen. And so that's for me where I've screwed up, where I have set up expectations around disappointment, and then or around this is what's on the menu, and then been oh, but I could have this entire buffet. I would like the buffet. And so I think it's scary to say I want the buffet. And so what I'm working on is being gentle with my partners when they say I don't think I'm gonna have sex, or I don't think I'm gonna I don't think we're gonna go there, and then 3 days later they're I want to go there, because I want to be hard around those boundaries and be I trusted you when you said this other thing. And so when we can just be flexible and gentle with our boundaries, and allow people to shift and change, that's really helped me. And also having other partners who are I've been through this before, and this is normal, because when you shift from a monogamy framework to non-monogamy, it's sort of all the rules are out the window, and it's really easy to be overly rigid, I think.
It is. I think that it's really important, if we can, to honor the agreements we have in place and have room to change our mind. But it wouldn't be I'm going to go kiss them and then tell you after. I would say, I really want to tell the person I really want to kiss you, but I promised my partner I wouldn't. I need to go negotiate that before we can kiss. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But having flexibility and let people grow and change their mind it's really powerful.
I think I've been scared to be like, oh, I said I wanted this and now I want this, and I think that's where disappointment has happened in my relationships, and where it's really good to just be like, it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
That's sort of the point of being ethical with each other, is allowing ourselves to be how we feel
in the moment.
Yeah.
I think it also, a lot of people will minimize, and I read a great article, I wish I could remember who wrote it and quote it, but they were talking about being radically poly in the beginning of a relationship. And I think, I do that too. I want to minimize the, I don't want to rock the boat. So I'm like, oh, I'll probably, I might make out, but that's it. Where I'm like, no, actually, if the opportunity, I really like this person, I've known them for a while, I might want to have sex with them. I don't own that because I don't want to rock the boat.
Right.
And the article was about how people are often, they minimize their polyness in the beginning of a relationship, and then people are surprised later when they're more poly as they get comfortable. Right. So they recommended just be as poly as you are at the moment. But that takes practice. It's not always easy.
Well, I think putting the things out there that, if you being radically poly is going to scare somebody away, then let's find that out now, as opposed to us getting all attached and then figuring that out. Exactly. And so I think that's really important. And I also think recognizing that we're all going to make mistakes sometimes, and figuring out, okay, sometimes, I've had really big reactions sometimes, and I was like, oh, that's because I was I needed more intimacy, or I needed more touch, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's why.
My tanks were low.
Yeah, my tanks were low. So everything got all out of whack, and so really just recognizing patterns for me is really important, because it does pop up where I'm like, oh, I'm feeling these feelings, and I'm like, okay, what's been happening the last few days in my life? Am I a little bit emotionally stressed? Am I emotionally drained? Am I needing to take a night by myself? What are the things that I need? And really recognizing those patterns, because that can kind of help if you do have these, messes, so to speak, happening. Oftentimes there are patterns that you can kind of see. You can kind of look back and say, oh, you know what? This was happening and I wasn't super aware of it, but now I'm going to try and be more aware of it next time.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between a mess and burning down your house.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So there are sometimes things are oh, that was messy. That was, I thought we talked about this and I thought this was clear. I thought this was okay and it's not, versus I did exactly the thing I told you I wouldn't.
Yeah. And that can happen too. Even in ethical relationships.
Right. Yeah.
We make oh, I should not have done that. That was wrong, and I need to figure out how to tell my partner.
Right. But I think it's good to also talk about, if you're going to be meandering these waters, what are your deal breakers? What are the things that are you're if this happens, I'm out, so that somebody can know about those things in advance, instead of stepping over that boundary and creating an irreconcilable difference that really could have been avoided had everybody known.
I think we should shoot another video, because this is going long, but I think this is a really important topic, bottom lines. So come back, we're going to do bottom lines, and leave comments below. Have you run into this? How have you handled it? We'd love to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.